going to share how you can configure and verify connectivity of a new SeniMax with your chosen cellular provider. So to get started, just make sure that you have already powered on the device, which you can do by just checking that the power switch, has been toggled towards the battery holder. This is in the on position. You should see some blinking LEDs near the blue modem on the side here. And if the SeniMax is on, just open up SenseScope in the local mode, and you should see, I'm open in the local mode, you should see a number of devices. I have many devices in the lab currently, but at the very least you should see the device ID of the SeniMax of interest. So the SeniMax that I am looking at has site ID 4801, and all SeniMaxes have device IDs that start with 4 zeros followed by their site ID. So I would like to look at 4801 and just verify that it is transmitting, and you can see that we have local and live data from this device. So with the device on, the next thing we want to do is we want to select this device from the list. So just click on the device so it is highlighted, and then go to the device error update tool, and you will see the SenseBot tab selected by default, but then just go to SeniMax, and we're going to basically set leaving the server IP and the port number unchanged and ignoring any of these other fields. The only field that we would like to update is this APN name. So this is a unique string of characters that will be provided to you upon activation of your SIM card, typically a 3G or 4G SIM card, which you can access. Typically they share this with you from a web-based application or a portal, but I'm using AT&T, and the particular APN that we've been assigned is the following: iot.core.com. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is, with again ignoring all the other fields, you can leave this auto select check, that doesn't matter, but the only other field we want checked is the APN name, and just hit apply. And you should have seen that the status will for a moment go from blue, all blue, which means nothing has been updated, to all red, which means that each of these 3 steps, in dongle, in error, and updated, have been executed. You can see that happening here when I hit apply. If you don't see it apply, like shown here, just keep hitting apply until you see them all either stay solid red or you see it flash red, all 3 flash red. If either of those occur, it means that that command has been sent, and now we'll have updated the SeniMax configuration. This is really all you need to do, but now we should verify that these settings have been applied and that the SeniMax can actually connect to your cellular network. So just minimize the error update, and now we're going to go right next to the graph tab, go to real time, and down below under this field filter sensor ID, before checking this box, enter the SeniMax site or device ID, but do not delimit by hyphens, just delimit by spaces. You see I don't have any hyphens here. Okay, now you can check the box. Now it's checking, it's only going to filter by this particular device. I'm going to set a few parameters here. I set the number of packets to show to 10,000 and a payload format to text, so it's human readable. And then finally just hit the show packets button. And what you're going to see here, many of the lines will kind of just be nonsensical, but the next step is going to be just to reset the SeniMax or give it a power cycle. I'm going to press the reset button, so let me just move some of these cables aside. You'll see, if you look near this battery, there's a red push button or maybe a different color, but you just have to press this push button once. I'm going to press it 3 times just so that I can see exactly the moment when the reset occurred. So I'm hitting it 1, 2, 3. Okay. What's going to happen now is essentially restarting the whole process on the microcontroller inside the SeniMax, and that will subsequently initiate a boot sequence and connection sequence on the modem. So you should see the blue modem power on shortly after that reset, and so you can see here some of the LEDs on the modem are starting to light up, and on the screen you can see that there's a number of commands being sent. We eventually want to get to a command that shows Resensys.net connect, followed by, and this is quite important, we should see a response from the network in the form of an OOK message. So I'm going to uncheck show packets. The SeniMax is successfully connected. Essentially, this is what you need to check. Well, let me scroll back down. You need to verify, or you should verify, that you get at least one instance of the OOK, and that it does not encounter any errors before reaching an OOK. If you get OOK with any number, it means that the device can connect via the cellular network with the APN that you specified. So I scroll up, and you can see here, this is where it actually applies that APN before proceeding to next steps. The OOK means that the device can connect to Resensys.net. It can deliver its data, so it connects and delivers data, and the network, Resensys.net, acknowledges having received, in this case, 868 bytes of data. With this configuration, it will be stored on the flash memory of the SeniMax, and this should only have to be a one-time configuration. The only other time that you would need to update the configuration is if you have a different SIM card, and thus need to update the APN. So with this, we can verify further. One last step of verification would be to log in to Senscope in the remote mode. Okay, so this is where the actual cloud stored data is going to be accessible. And just go to the site that you just connected, in this case 4801, and I check the volt of the SeniMax. Not to be confused with volt X or volt aux. These two are associated with the actual battery voltages, but the volt quantity of the SeniMax indicates all the successful connections. Every time the SeniMax connects to the network, we should have one data point here, and you can see that one happened only a few minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. So this is the procedure for initial configuration with the cellular network. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.